Hi everyone. Past 2 years has been a terrific time for people who are looking for jobs. Even people who have a job are scared of losing it. Why is it so difficult to get a job in 2024? What is the complete timeline of events that led to this job market crash? Are the companies to blame here, or the oversupply of employees? Or is it because the companies are shifting towards profitability? Or is it AI that is affecting the job market? Let's try to understand all of this in this video.
Units affected, they also include hardware. An Amazon spokesperson did confirm those layoffs. The head
UPS announced Tuesday it will lay off 12,000 employees. That's about 2% of its workforce.
Politicians just talking about how the economy is so great and how come no one can find a job.
The layoffs in technology just keep coming. The latest, Google cutting hundreds of jobs in its engineering, product, and hardware divisions.
The layoffs keep coming.
AI, generative AI, AI. It uses AI to bring AI.
The story starts from the year 2020. The world had almost stopped during COVID-19. There was a lockdown and travel restrictions across all countries.
Coronavirus pandemic spreads.
We will be suspending all travel to the United States.
आज रात 12 बजे से संपूर्ण देश में संपूर्ण लॉकडाउन होने जा रहा है.
Due to the restrictions of travel and immigration, the inflow of immigrants into the US halted for almost 2 years. There were 2 million less working age immigrants by the end of 2021 when compared to the trend. Out of those, about 1 million would have been college educated. There was a huge backlog of US visas due to the disruption of visa processing at the US embassies around the world. The pandemic also shifted the employees in the tech industry to work from home. This shift was promoted to be the new normal.
Many employees are working from home.
Work from home scenarios can now be the norm rather than the exception.
Eventually, when the travel restrictions were lifted, people preferred to continue to work from home. They also started prioritizing their mental health. They wanted to move to jobs where their interests aligned with. People started experimenting and working for startups. All of this led to the Great Resignation in the US. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that 47 million Americans left their job in 2021. While all of this was creating a shortage of employees in the job market, on the other hand, there was a rapid increase in digital demand because of COVID-19 as people shifted to remote work, online shopping, and digital entertainment. Companies like Microsoft, Amazon, and Zoom experienced an unexpected surge in usage. This prompted them to scale up their operations to meet this demand. Due to all of this, many tech companies believed that the shift to digital would be permanent and continue even after the pandemic. These projections created a pressure on companies to expand quickly and capture the market share. Expansion was seen as necessary to innovate, launch new products, and create a competitive edge in the market. To boost all their growth, even the interest rates were quite cheap, with high cash flow to recruit more and more employees. This is when the companies started hiring.
Plans to create 10,000 jobs.
Amazon's massive hiring spree is in full swing.
Here is the list of a few tech companies that went on a hiring spree. Meta saw an increase of about 60% from 44,000 employees in 2019 to 72,000 employees in 2021. Google saw a growth of 60% from 119,000 employees in 2019 to 190,000 employees in 2022. Microsoft had a dramatic increase of more than 200% from 58,000 employees in 2019 to 181,000 employees in 2021. Amazon doubled its workforce from 800,000 employees in 2019 to a whopping 1.6 million employees in 2022. Everything was going smooth, as even the universities were trying to increase their intake to meet the demand created by the companies. But soon, the companies realized something unexpected. It turned out that the jump in digital demand wasn't permanent. It started falling down. As the world started to return to normalcy, the companies realized that they overestimated the pandemic-induced surge. The new normal was in fact not normal anymore. It was slowly fading away. We were all shifting to the normal that we knew before the pandemic. And then we enter the second half of 2022. This is when the chapter of layoffs started.
If you're on this call, you are part of the unlucky group being laid off. Your employment here is terminated effective immediately. The market has changed, as you know, and we have to move with it in order to survive.
And I'm the founder and CEO. I take full responsibility for this decision. This was ultimately my call.
Refocusing and reprioritizing within the company, when it impacts people, it's hard, particularly for a company like Google, which over the past 25 years hasn't gone through a moment like this.
Meta laid off 11,000 employees in November 2022, then cut an additional 10,000 employees in March 2023, with a total layoff of 15% of their company. Amazon also had multiple large layoffs, including 10,000 employees in November 2022, 8,000 in January 2023, and 9,000 in March 2023. Accenture dismissed 19,000 employees, which is 2.5% of its workforce in 2023. Microsoft laid off 10,000 employees, which is 5% of their workforce in 2023. Google laid off 12,000 employees in 2023. If we combine all the numbers, according to layoffs.fyi, 1,064 tech companies laid off 165,000 employees in 2022. 1,191 tech companies laid off 263,000 employees in 2023. Now, if we observe the top companies like Meta, Amazon, Google, and Microsoft, it turns out that the companies that are now shedding had overhired during the pandemic season. But the problem here is that the number of layoffs are quite high when compared to the overexpansion. But how did this happen? Let's understand the reasons for it. First reason is the possibility of recession and the increase in inflation. As I mentioned that in 2019, the interest rates were pretty low and the companies used cash flow to increase their workforce. Cut to 2022, the Federal Reserve raised interest rates multiple times to combat inflation. So much so that it was similar to the time in 2008 financial crisis. These hikes created concerns about the political economic downturn, prompting even the small and medium businesses to reduce costs through layoffs. Second is the oversupply of international students. Now, this is a bit debatable. I've personally heard from a lot of people that there is very high intake of international students that is leading to heavy competition for the limited jobs available. But the question here is that, is the supply of international students so high that it is impacting the overall market? Let's look at this with some data. Overall, the number of international students in the US grew by 12% in 2023, the largest single year increase in more than 40 years. Especially from India, there is a 35% jump in the students after the pandemic. Looking at this chart, we can see that there has been a steady growth in the international student intake to the US from the 1950s or 60s. In fact, if we look closely at the last 10 years, the peak was in 2015. Only because of the drop in 2020 due to COVID, the increased percentage in 2023 seems high. Now, I surely agree that the number of Indians have significantly shot up in the last 3-4 years, but that has been balanced by the decrease in Chinese students. However, international students made up just 5.6% of all college students in 2023 in the USA. So now, let's calculate the percentage of Indian students in the US. Out of 100 students in the USA, 5.6 are international students, and out of those 5.6, only 25% are Indian students, which makes the proportion of Indian students only 1.5 out of 100. So how far is it right to blame the Indian students for the increase in competition, which is just 1.5% of all college students in 2023? Drop your opinion of what you think in the comment section below. Third is the shift to profitability. Now, with all this drama and looking at the larger companies, smaller companies started laying off as well. Even if their revenue streams were intact, they suddenly started focusing on profitability. The layoffs became a separate pandemic in itself, troubling us like the COVID-19, spreading from company to company. Now, in such a case, it is even more difficult for international students to find jobs, as I have heard of cases where companies are preferring to hire local candidates. Even the government is pushing the companies to hire local candidates when compared to the international students. Additionally, the H-1B holders have been significantly affected by the layoffs.
Meanwhile, Amazon, Google, and IBM are among the top employers of H-1B visa workers, and that group has been particularly hard hit in the mass layoffs that we've been seeing in the tech space.
The top tech companies hired only 34,000 H-1B workers in 2022, but they fired 85,000 in the 23-24 layoffs. If you are watching this and have any stories or opinions to share, please share it in the comment section below. Also, if someone from a company is watching this, please share the situation in your company. And then coming to the end of 2023 and the start of 2024, we saw a slight stability in the job market. While there were no significant openings in the job market, the layoffs were stabilized a bit. This was expected to be a sign of reversal and slow increase in the jobs in the upcoming time. But here comes the twist in the story, when the companies started a new wave of layoffs.
2023 was the year of layoffs. Thousands lost their jobs. Many believed that was it. The job cuts were done. But 2024 is proving to be no different. This year began with another series of layoffs.
Employees at Tesla were told the company will lay off over 10% of its workforce.
Tech giant Amazon has begun its third round of layoffs. Well, this was in addition to the 18,000 employees who were shown the door.
Another day, another round of layoffs from eBay to Google and now SAP.
Tesla announced to lay off 10% of its workforce, affecting 14,000 employees. This move was because of the increasing competition and the declining sales that the company is facing. Similarly, SAP dismissed 8,000 employees. Cisco and Dell both laid off 5% of their workforce. Overall, 344 tech companies laid off 100,000 employees in 2024, and it's just been half a year. Now, there is another major and final reason that is contributing to the company's shedding of employees. It's the advent and adoption of artificial intelligence. If you remember, a few years ago, the buzz was all around crypto. Then the trend moved to blockchain, NFT, etc. There was also a lot of hype around metaverse from Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg. Facebook also changed its parent company's name to Meta.
I believe the metaverse is the next chapter for the internet. I am proud to announce that starting today, our company is now Meta.
But in 2023, the buzz was all about AI.
OpenAI is in talks to raise another funding round as the frenzy around AI shows no signs of cooling.
We will have the first time something that is smarter than the smartest human. There will come a point where no job is needed.
However, the main difference is that AI is creating value today. Tools like ChatGPT, DALL-E and Midjourney have changed the way we search, the way we code and the way we design. AI has transformed almost every creative sector. It's being used to make videos, to make art forms, to make songs and all types of creative work. Companies like OpenAI, Microsoft and Google played a crucial role in advancing AI capabilities. The AI hype of 2023 is starting to have real-world effects in 2024. Goldman Sachs reported that 300 million jobs could be affected by latest wave of AI. Major tech CEOs are increasing their investments in AI. All these investments are creating a lot of jobs in the AI sector. Recent report from Indeed shows that the number of job posts containing generative AI term has been surging.
So there's about a 500% increase in the number of jobs that mention generative AI. There's about a 6,000% increase in the demand from job seekers for these jobs.
So it seems that AI is going to create quite a few jobs. It is going to affect many more jobs at the same time. So this was the story of layoffs and how the past 2 years has been an adventure ride for tech employees and aspirants. That's all from my side for today. If you found this video informative, make sure to click the like button and share it with your friends, colleagues and aspirants who are looking for jobs. Also, for more such videos, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.